So to help, Biden's new merch is a t-shirt that says gaslighting isn't real, you're just crazy. I made that up, but it would be a fun shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Semi-Daily Night Show with Gary TV, your host, Gary.
Tonight's ceremonial first pitch. And please welcome the President of the United States.
We did it, Joe.
Just making sure you're paying attention.
Welcome to Semi-Daily Night Show. Kim Jong Un, the Dunkin' Donut dictator, has dropped a state-ran art exhibit where there are propaganda pieces of the supreme super-size me leader, including himself on top of a mountain and riding a horse, which is clearly fake. They don't make horses that strong. But I worry the painters portrayed the obese oligarch a little fluffy instead of fierce. So to save them from 20 years of forced labor, I used AI to generate some new portraits of them. The image on the left looks like he's 260 and can probably beat Nate Diaz in a street fight.
You think you beat me in a street fight?
You in a street fight?
Yeah.
You're a podcaster, brother.
You think so? Nah, you really think so? No, I'm 260.
I said.
And the one on the right looks like Indiana Jones if he was searching for Trent or who Pythagorean was. It's not an Asian joke. Streamer Cenat caused a riot, and I haven't seen Fox News this mad at a black guy since 2008. Now, people who watch streamers all day are the biggest epidemic to society since people started putting anime stickers on their car. But Cenat and his group are funny, so I can see how they mobilized a militia of people whose only vocabulary is L, chat, and bro.
Bro, low key, bro.
But surprisingly, an army of people who don't touch grass, wear Crocs, and haven't used deodorant since a Republican was in office, they did some damage.
You thought I was feeling you?
The streamer was doing a giveaway of PCs and PS5s, but so many kids decided to do their semi-annual grass-touching event to New York for the giveaway. Trains had to stop, Whole Foods was closed.
Can you believe that? Can you believe we don't have a jacuzzi?
And a riot happened. The NYPD was so mad, they smashed a white kid's face into a window. The streamer is facing charges, and if there is a mugshot, it will rival only one person. Donald Trump has been indicted for a third time. This means her conservative uncle has been on social media all day ranting, and the people who hate the former president haven't stopped celebrating. A popular left-wing influencer, Harry, who has as much testosterone as the new girl on Mr. Beast's team, was live tweeting the day. That's not going to go on TikTok. And Michael Rappaport, a comedian whose career flopped harder than Chance the Rapper after Acid Rap, released a video singing about it. The only other person to mobilize that many people since January 6 is Taylor Swift, is a dictator, if she wanted to be. She has enough fans to mobilize an army to Ukraine. All you gotta do is tell them Putin wants to ban Starbucks and Stanley Cups, and the Swifties will pull up with their SSRI as a gas card from their parents and a horrible view on relationships, and take back Crimea before you can get through her newest album. Taylor Swift fans are a problem. The Federal Reserve has even said that Taylor Swift's tour boosted the economy. One firm estimated she can add $5 billion to the country's GDP. Her concert even triggered multiple earthquakes. They have the ability to take a country's power grid with a sing-along and enough money to buy the power companies back. This is a well-regulated militia by a woman who thinks sequins and fedoras are cute. On the topic of supreme leaders with bad taste in fashion, Lizzo has a massive problem. It has come out that Lizzo has been fat-shaming her staff. There is a potential banana eaten out of a place that I can't talk about on here, which is outrageous. We should be supporting her and eating healthy. The story has caught fire and caused a big scandal. She should respond with a hunger strike. That has nothing to do with this, but she still should. But I am Team Lizzo. I respect boss women like Ellen DeGeneres, Hillary Clinton, mainly because I don't want to drown while paddleboarding randomly. They are all three my favorite women. The Zoom employees are even sick of using Zoom, and they've realized Google Hangout is better. The remote work provider has now walked back their services to their employees and want them back in office. Even President Biden is pushing to end remote work for feds. And it's probably because their e-girl psyops keep failing. Stay strong out there. And they also have to go to the drawing board for less obvious tweets from our boy Harry. Or maybe it's to help sell more Biden merch.
I like my coffee dark.
Coffee is the only thing he likes dark. So it makes sense for him to drop Muggs' merch with the dark Brandon face. But hopefully it helps sway young kids because Gen Z kids are Republicans. A new study is showing that Gen Z boys are leaning right on the political spectrum. And if you play one game of Call of Duty, you will see it's true. You'll hear more hard R's in one game than a traffic jam in the South. One reason I believe this is happening is the Daily Wire dropped their chief recruitment officer on TikTok. I'm not making fun of her. I like her videos. But these kids should be paying attention in school or they'll look like Al Sharpton forgot history live on TV.
Can you imagine our reading that James Madison or Thomas Jefferson tried to overthrow the government?
Well, they did. And because of that, we don't have to eat beans and bread for breakfast. So put some respect on them. Also, OG's old enough to have seen it happen. He was probably there. How did he forget? Now, there is something the Reverend may approve. Divorce. Laws are changing. Politicians finally figured out how to save their marriages by outlawing divorce. Now, Democrats have avoided divorce for years by allowing their wives to have boyfriends. I'm kidding. They still got divorced. And Republicans in certain states are trying to make getting divorces harder by repealing no-fault divorce. No-fault divorce means one of you stayed in the gym and the other didn't, so you want a divorce. Well, kind of. It basically means you just want to end the marriage and not assign blame. You used to have to prove in court why you should be divorced, and saying the person you married hasn't been to the gym since your wedding night may not have been enough ground, and resulted in you staying in that marriage buying them more ice cream. The system was flawed and forced a lot of unhappy marriages to continue. No-fault divorce helped make divorces easier, and Republicans argue that's a bad thing. Now, I don't have much experience with divorce. My parents have been married over 30 years, so my need to tell jokes on the internet comes from the disappointment I see in myself instead of family trauma. Self-hatred is an infinite renewable energy I recommend to everyone. So with my lack of divorce understanding, I referenced this video and a few articles on the matter. Yeah, I'm citing sources now. I'm the DJ Khaled of journalism.
Call me asparagus.
My political views aren't even one-sided. One could say they're
Right down the middle!
I even went to Rolling Stone, which assaulted me with so many ads I wanted a divorce. People have more divorces than there are Jordans in the modern day. 2/3 of marriages result in one, and the process is usually started by women. And probably not because they want them more, it's just us men don't like to do paperwork. So the GOP in states like Texas, Louisiana, and Nebraska, but as an ordained minister, I'm not joking, I actually am. I'm legally allowed to marry people. So it's weird to think you can marry whoever you want, but if they stop going to the gym and eat ice cream every night, you're stuck with them. I wasn't joking, by the way. I've never been to church, but I am an ordained minister. It's crazy what $60 and a night drinking Chardonnay by yourself will lead you to do. That's probably how most divorce paperwork starts. What? Chardonnay is cheap, even with Bidenomics. The Biden administration has said there is a messaging problem and the economy's fine. So to help, Biden's new merch is a t-shirt that says gaslighting isn't real, you're just crazy. I made that up, but it would be a fun shirt. Since the White House keeps changing the definition of inflation and denying inflation, they had to create a new form of economics called Bidenomics. Chief propagandist KJP was on her probable next employer, CNN, and said inflation is going down despite it going up in July. Bidenomics lies more than a girl with a boyfriend on a bachelorette party to Miami. She said the poll doesn't explain everything, kind of like her when Peter Doocy or any other journalist asks her something. So to help Biden win re-election instead of bingo in a nursing home, they're going back to 2020 pandemic era messaging to help get their point across. Because if 2020 taught us anything, it's the government doesn't lie.
Wait a minute. But there's also a burger element to this?
So hopefully there's a burger element with voting this time. Some people who could use a free burger. LA City workers are on strike because if one person does something in LA, then someone has to copy. I would know. I lived in LA and I dyed my hair blue. It was a weird 3 years. But 11,000 city workers went on strike for good reason, just not good location. They strike in front of the LAX airport because getting people to listen to your point is easy to do when everyone just wants to go the home. And just about every industry is striking. Hotels, sanitation workers, even Kaiser nurses, who are some of the highest paid and non-overworked nurses. Kaiser is for nurses who drink out of thin blue line cups and write paragraphs on Facebook about Democrats. I have Kaiser insurance. I may have just myself with that joke. The housing in LA is ridiculous. The prices are higher than the people that live there, so I am sympathetic to the people protesting. But there is somewhere that may pay more. Illegal biolabs. There's been an illegal biolab raided by the FBI in Fresno, where most buildings are labs probably just making fentanyl. It had more diseases in it than a girl from Scottsdale. The lab was kept unsanitary, also like a girl from Scottsdale. The company Prestige Biotech.
Prestige. Worldwide. Why?
Is the tenant of the building, but no one can track down who's responsible for it, which is scary because it had over 900 genetically engineered mice in it. Dr. Fauci dreams of a lab like this. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was funded by Taylor Swift at this point.